In a world where quality business information is needed, we bring you On the Mic with Mike, the leading social enterprise business show in RVA. Join Mike King, the partnership guru, as he delivers game changers in Metro RVA. On the Mic with Mike showcases how business can help make society better. He discusses tech, culture, innovation, best business practices, and highlighting area nonprofits. Join Mike Monday through Friday because it is the place where the best and brightest come to chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, the premier business radio program in the area. I'm your host, Mike King, and I appreciate you being here with me. The views expressed here are mine, have no connection to, support of, agreement with any other host, information, or ads on the station. I don't work for the station. My program just airs here on a daily basis, and I'm grateful for that, to be able to bring these game-changing folks to you. On the Mic with Mike, we highlight partnership people. We even showcase those out in the area doing some really great things. On the Mic with Mike, we are here on ESPN Richmond 106.1. That's where you find us daily from 5 to 7 a.m., as well as on The Choice, which is 105.3. If you'd like to follow me on all social platforms, hashtag Mike King Biz, hashtag On the Mic with Mike RVA. We'd like to thank our show sponsors, Tom Childry, the credit card guy. If you have credit card merchant issues, Tom Childry is the man. He can help you get paid faster. So there's a lot of changes out there in the credit card processing. We'll make sure you check out my man, Tom Childry. He's a guy who knows a guy, and he knows a woman too, who can tell you and help you get over the problems that you're having. Make sure you check out Tom Childry, the credit card guy. Andy Taylor and Junk Luggers. Andy Taylor and Junk Luggers, he can help you move everything from an entire household down to a single bike. And he does it eco-friendly. Plus, the things that they have that they pick up, if they don't go to the landfill, they work their magic and they make their way to the center of the universe, which is Ashland, which is the Remix Market. He goes out there, fixes them up, and then he sells them and donates the money over to charity. That's the kind of man Andy Taylor is. That's why I rock and roll with him. So I appreciate him, as well as Mama Michelle's Cafe, the signature cafe south side of the James. Plus, she's doing a TV. Her show is called Taste on TV. It's called The Culture Mix, and it's going to be on Taste on TV. That's what it is. Chef Michelle Wilson doing big things, and we appreciate her. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, we are the best business program out there because we've looked far and wide, and sometimes names and people come across our pathway, and we see people doing some big things. I bring to you the bold whisperer, Jennifer Einoff. Welcome to the program, ma'am.
Hi, thank you very much for having me here.
All righty. Those two words kind of like don't go together.
I know, I'm all about that. Yes, because I want people curious, because curiosity is the root of creativity, and I'm all about creative clarity.
All righty. So wait, before we get started, you were always a creative person?
Yes, I have always been a creative person, but I've also been a person that feels very deeply that other people don't always understand how creative they are.
Let me explain it to you. That's why I ask, because if you don't come from a family of creatives, it's kind of rough, because, I wasn't, and my son's a creative. We don't get you guys all the time.
Yes, absolutely. So I think it's really interesting. My father was a steel worker, not obviously creative, but he was very creative at storytelling and at talking to people. He could talk to anybody and get their life story out of them very quickly. And my mother is a cognitive psychologist, again, not necessarily obviously creative, but also a field that requires a lot of creativity. If you're going to do research, you really need to understand. It has broken my heart for a very long time that a lot of people describe themselves as not creative. If you can figure out how to get everything off your list in a shopping situation, you're creative. If you can figure out how to get a parking space in a crowded parking lot, you are creative. And if you can figure out how to lead a team of people who don't necessarily understand your very creative brain, you are creative.
Wow. I'm going to straight up steal that right there, because we don't always think of those things as creative. We think of creative as always as the arts. We don't think about the creativity that it takes to lead people.
Absolutely.
Because, if you think about it, it's not just one cookie cutter. You're leading. Everyone's the same way. Everyone's exactly the same. Bill is different than Mary, who's different than Jimmy, and I was an only kid, so for 14 years, and I didn't realize that you don't parent kids the same way, because I had no other model. My wife is one of 8, and it's just like, this one's different than that one, is different than this one. They all get together, they're laughing 1 minute, they're beefing the next. The parent looks like they're babying this one and riding that one hard. And so when I had kids, I just thought 2 sons, 2 years apart, different people.
Different people, absolutely. I work predominantly with people who understand that they are creative, who think up 3 worlds before breakfast, and their brain is this constant flow of ideas and information. And most of those people find themselves, or many of them find themselves, in positions of leadership. They were the one that raised their hand in every meeting, and they always had a bright idea. And now they're charged with leading a team, with helping other people see what they can see. So I really believe that about 20% of the population, this is my statistic, I have no backing up of this, but this is based on what I've been watching, about 20% of the population is visionary. We can see what other people can't see. But that means that if you're in that 20%, you have a responsibility to make it visible to that 80%, so that they can come along, so that they can understand what the vision is, so that they can understand what their role could be in making it happen. And that's the fundamental disconnect for a lot of creative leadership, is that they can see it. How can they make sure that their people can see it? So I do a lot of work in designing clarity, using design cycle principles to really get clear about what it is you're solving for, and what you see as possible, and harnessing that creativity. Creativity is great unless you don't do anything with it. So harnessing it for good, for the move forward for all of us on the planet. And then enhancing that communication, making sure that you can say what you see, making sure that you can find, to your point, the different kinds of people need to hear it, see it, taste it, touch it different ways in order to understand what's going on. So that is the responsibility of the leader. And that's predominantly the world I work in.
So I've hijacked the interview and taken it on a totally different road. Can we, as you can see, my style is not conventional. Could you give us, how you became who you are today, the birth
Absolutely.
of the Bold Whisper, and then I'm going to jump right back into those things because I find it interesting, and I think the listeners will as well.
Yeah, so in my past, I decided that my way forward was to get an English degree. So I got an English degree, and you know what? That wasn't my way forward, but that was a great way to learn critical thinking and kind of take the world not necessarily at surface value. So I went back and got an interior design degree. I thought, this is it. This is my career.
Those
so I
totally go together. Yes.
I absolutely. Don't you think? I always tell people I can make art and then talk about it. So I went back and got an interior design degree, and I had a career as an interior designer. I was a commercial interior designer. I designed hospital emergency rooms and mental health wards and corporate cubicle farms and higher ed. I did some work for local universities, and it was wonderful. But I always had this nagging sense that this was kind of what I was supposed to be doing, but not quite it. And so I started looking into, what would it look like? And very quickly realized that coaching is where I wanted to go. And again, sounds like a very different thing from where I was, but my favorite part of design was where the client would come and tell you a story. We need this because of that, and this is the solution. And you would believe them. Yes, I believe that you see this as the solution. I believe that this is what you see your problem as. But then as a designer, you have to get super curious about what else is true. And that's the coaching moment. When my clients come and they tell me what's going on and they tell me what they think the solution is, I believe them. I believe that that's their experience. But then I also get super curious about what else is true. And we go and we explore and we figure out where we can shift their perspective a little bit to see something that's been hiding in plain sight so that they can go take advantage of that. And so I moved from interior design to, I always tell people I moved from exterior interior design to interior design. And that was my path. But all along, as you can hear, I was in contexts where there were lots of creatives, whether it was, the English degree and writers and storytelling, or design and creatives who are creating spaces that impact the way people live and work. I love creatives. I love that creative space. And I have a real heart for them because I too can get very excited about ideas and forget to go and actually build things. And so that's really the place. The other thing is that creatives can get so excited about what they're doing that they stop taking care of themselves. So my path to understanding what self-investment looks like, what it takes to take care of yourself so that when you see a mission and you're going to execute on that mission and you're going to lead people through that mission, that you're still there at the end of the mission, because that's what the mission needs. That's really where my heart is. That's where I spend my time, working with people in corporate, higher ed, government, leadership, people who may or may not have the word design or designer in their title, but who are called on to be incredibly creative.
Alrighty, Mike King, Jennifer Anoff here. She is the Bold Whisperer. Okay, so we got there's a number of things in there. I got to touch on.
Okay.
Really, is everyone that's out there is a coach? Are coaches made, or can they be born? So now, were you the person who everybody came to with, hey, Jen, I got this idea, or can I talk to you about stuff? And you found people in the grocery store coming to you, or at work, all of those places? Or does a person go somewhere, get some training, and then they can become a coach, and they never were the go-to person?
That's such an amazing question on so many levels. I really do think that I finally found my calling, and that all the weird little pieces of me that never quite made sense make sense in coaching. Remember, I told you my father could talk to anybody. I inherited his gift of talking to everybody and really connecting. The design work that I did, I learned to get creative and apply creative curiosity to wondering what else was true. I went back and got coach training. I decided to invest in being trained as a coach. And one of the wonderful things that I just discovered is that coaching isn't about giving advice, which is, it was very frightening to me at first. Like, oh, I love giving advice. I want to tell everybody what to do. I'm so excited about all the things that I've learned. And then I can tell you that's not coaching. Coaching is being fully present with someone and investing your curiosity and your presence and working with them, because two people in partnership can always accomplish more than either of them on their own. And that's what coaching is. So going back and getting my coach training and understanding that facet and feeling this deep sense of relief that I don't have to have the answers because I can participate in finding the answer is really wonderful. And so on that level, I think everybody would benefit from some training and coaching, some understanding about how to be with other people and to truly invest in partnership that way. That definitely plays out for my clients when they're investing in their team. You know, not necessarily telling everybody what to do, but figuring out how to convey what you see so that they can tell you what they see. And the result is much bigger than anybody on their own. So the answer to your question is sort of both. I think that this is definitely what I'm here for. This is what I was put on the planet for. This is what I was designed for, if you will. But I also think that coaching modality, that the approach of listening more than you're talking, or of listening more than you're deciding, is definitely something everyone could learn and could benefit from.
What happens when you sit there and you see the light comes on? Because you know when the light came on, you just looked at the person and they got it.
I do. I just get goosebumps when you said that. There are moments. I look for a lot of body cues. I look for that shift in their energy, and you'll see like their shoulders drop and their head goes back and they're just woken up, and it is what I live for. That aha moment is what I live for. And our lives are punctuated with those aha moments. And I have the privilege of helping people reach them on a regular basis.
Man, that's why I got a radio show with stuff too. What you just said right there, we're gonna bottle that up, because what it is what people want and need. People want that. Yeah. And they always try and go and find it. Okay. So I'm looking at the sign behind you. Where do you come up with the idea for the Bold Whisperer? Now that's
so the Bold Whisperer is there's several ideas there. One is that the boldest idea, even if it's only delivered in a whisper, can change the world. I think also it has to do with, a lot of people's expectation that a coach is going to come in and they're going to rock your world and they're going to tear everything up and they're going to tell you what to do. And that's not really how it works. That I come in a little bit softly, but I am bold in what I'm going to notice, and I'm bold in what I'm going to tell you, and I'm bold in what I'm going to say. And it's that tension, right? That polarity between those two apparently opposite things, that the new thing is possible in that. So that's why I'm the Bold Whisperer.
You are the Bold Whisperer. I like that. Okay, so can a person do what you do if they don't like delivering the tough news or receiving the tough news? Now, yeah. I'm not a receiver of my wife is one of those ones, go to the doctor, give it to me straight, doctor, I can take it. that one. You know, you got some bad news. You go out there and package it up a little bit better and come to me with the news. You know, the unvarnished, give it to me straight. Can a person be that coach if you're not good at delivering news like that? The hard news.
You know, I think that the place for hard news comes from relationship. You remember I said that the coaching relationship is a partnership. I don't deliver the hard news the same way to everybody. I'm trying to deliver it in a way that you can actually hear it. And not everybody in every moment of their life is ready to hear everything. And so what is it that you can ask that brings them closer? And again, I'm not assuming that I know. I'm bringing curiosity. And we have a social contract that says I can be a little bit curious and you can say, you know what, I don't want to go there right now. And that's fine. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We all have a different relationship, especially different times. Sometimes we feel more vulnerable and we're less open to hearing something potentially devastating. Maybe I'm trying not to be devastating. I'm trying to be, constructive. But yes, I think there is definitely some nuance to how we talk to people and when and being with someone. You know that you can hear bad news from someone you trust a lot faster than somebody you don't.
That is true. That's true, because there's that trust level there that
Yeah.
they're not just giving it to you. All right, on the mic with Mike, Jennifer Einhold is here with us. She is the Bull Whisperer. We got to go away and pay some bills because, as I always say, the microphone ain't free. Plus, my grandkids need stuff, and so we're going out to Lawrence Trampoline Park. So we got you guys make sure you take our sponsors and advertisers, because we need to stay on the air, because we can bring game-changing folks to you like Jen right here. We'll be back on the other side on the mic with Mike, the best business radio program around.
Hi, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy with Beyond. I believe it should not be confusing or expensive for your business to accept credit cards. As a social enterprise business advocate, my mission gets you paid faster with fair rates, helping your business grow. We can be contacted at area code 804-503-8472, 804-503-8472, or at getbeyond.com. Again, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy. Quick, easy collect. We make it easier than you expect.
Hey, this is Jami Kwan, co-owner of Brunswick Agriculture and Preventative Health Hub. I'm a Northern California transplant, wife to a Marine vet, mother, and farmer homesteader on 50 acres. Tune in every Friday from 2:30 to 3 on The Choice 105.3 FM, while we discuss what it really looks like to be Black homesteaders doing it moving. We are first-generational farmers turning our raw land into a sustainable agro-tourism business with our blended family, love of food, and everything but the cow. So stop on by on Fridays to say hi.
Hi, Chef Michelle here of Mama Show Cafe, home of the Soul Rolls, located at 10811 Hull Street Road. Give us a call at 804-912-1644 or order online at mamashow.com. Ask about our off-site catering options, as well as our online ordering through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Follow us on all social media at Mama Show Cafe. That's Mama Show, Soul south of the James. Mention Mike on the mic and get a free dessert on us. Special rules apply.
My name is Nanette Shore. I'm with Shore Fundraising Strategies. We work with nonprofits to help them excel in their fundraising efforts. This allows them to further their reach, provide much needed services in our community, and change lives forever. We focus on all areas of fundraising, including strategy and fundraising, event growth, board and key volunteer engagement, individual and organizational stewardship and development planning, just to name a few. Reach me by email, NannetteShore@gmail.com, NannetteShor@gmail.com.
Hey guys, it's Nicole Reed with Nicole Reed Real Estate, and I'm super excited to let you know not only can you hear the Real Flavor radio show every Wednesday at 6 a.m. on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, but you can now catch us every Thursday at 2 p.m. on The Choice Radio 105.3 FM. Come join us each and every week as we talk about all things real estate and hear from industry experts in the field. When you think about real estate, think about me, your girl, Nicole Reed with Nicole Reed Real Estate and Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. Call me at 804-721-7630. Peace and love.
At Fast Signs, our tag is more than fast and more than signs. And what we mean by that is that being fast is just one aspect of our service. The most important aspect is that we produce the widest range of signage of any company in Central Virginia, which means we can help with any and all of a business's signage, graphics, and other visual communication needs. If you have a message to communicate, give us the opportunity to help at fastsigns.com.
More than just your neighborhood coffee shop, Front Porch Cafe is a brunch and coffee spot serving locally sourced ingredients. Front Porch Cafe is on a mission providing work experience to Richmond's youth and offering space for our community members to gather. We serve hot and cold espresso drinks, single origin coffee and teas, and brunch items such as smoked pulled chicken and waffles, Legacy Farmhouse salads, and a variety of soups. Visit frontporchrva.com for directions or online ordering.
This is Chris Mayfield with Profusion Consulting. At Profusion, we start with your people where they are. We do assessments, identify their strengths and weaknesses with the idea of making your team a better team for you. Check us out on our website, profusion-consulting.com, or give us a call at 757-373-3109. You can catch us on ESPN Richmond 106.1, Tuesdays at 6 a.m.
Mike King Biz and On the Mic with Mike RVA is sponsored by Richmond Region Tourism. The not-for-profit is dedicated to promoting the region to meeting, convention, and sports event planners, tour operators, and leisure travelers. Tourism improves residents' quality of life, and the Richmond Region Tourism team is proud to work on behalf of the RVA community every day. Discover new things to do and explore in our region at myrvamoment.com. And tune in to On the Mic with Mike RVA on ESPN Richmond, Mondays at 6:30 a.m. for all the great things happening in our region.
On the Mic with Mike RVA is the best business radio program in RVA. It can be heard on the Mike King Biz Radio Network on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM and The Choice 105.3 FM.
Hi, well, you know who I am. Make sure you check out my man, Mike King Biz. His program, On the Mic with Mike RVA, is the best business-ish radio program in RVA. Mike King Biz Radio can be heard on ESPN Richmond 106.1 and The Choice 105.3. Me and Minnie listen every day, and you should too.
On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. Sometimes it's so good you got to whisper it and say, I've had that and I've been waiting for you to come, Jennifer, because
I appreciate that.
Certain things you got to whisper it. Everybody's yelling, right? And there is the power of the whisper, and we had the Bull Whisperer who is here with us. What type of businesses are you out there helping, and how can you help an organization, man?
Absolutely. So I work across a variety of different industries and different places. It's really about the leaders. So I work in, like I said, higher ed, corporate, in government, and also with founders. That's particularly one of those places. You had the creativity to bring this thing together. You're putting a team together. You're post-funded, and now it's time to actually create. So it's really it's more about that moment where you're supposed to be kicking it into gear, and all you see is the deer in the headlights look in your team. And what's it costing you? What is it? What compensation strategies are you using to get away from the discomfort of it? How much of an advantage are you losing? Are your competitors getting to market first because you're having a hard time figuring out how to ignite your team? So it's more about who than about where, if that makes sense. It's about leaders who need to design that clarity to get super clear about what even the question is they're solving for and what the solutions are that they see, who needs to really harness that creativity, take that incredible power of creativity that they have and turn it into something that's going to be tangible and create that difference. And then enhancing the communication to make sure that you're communicating what you see, because this is our way forward on the planet. It's creative people figuring out how we're going to get through these complex things that are coming. There's a researcher at William & Mary named Kyung Hee Kim, who looked at something called the Torrance Test of Creativity. And it's a score that they use to talk about children's creativity. And she found that it's been falling since 1990. Our creativity, our children's creativity scores have been falling since 1990. This incredibly precious commodity of creativity that's so required for the challenges that we're facing, the complexity in business, the complexity in government, the complexity in higher ed, all those places where I'm working with those leaders, that is so needed. So if you are creative, if you're figuring out how to bring that creativity to market, if you will, we need you. We absolutely need you. And we need to protect that creativity and hone it. And like I said, turn it into something that actually ignites a team and gets the future a little bit closer.
I think sometimes when people, it's on the mic with Mike, we're with Jennifer right now. And a lot of times we think we separate business and creativity. And successful businesses have creativity woven all through it, whether it's at the leadership level, whether it's the organizational DNA, whatever it is. How can people find you out there and engage with you?
Absolutely. So if you go to boldwhisper.com, which is the easiest way to find me, go ahead and check me out there. I am Jennifer Einoff on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect with you there. And just know that one of the reasons we have this sense that there's a difference between creativity and business is that unharnessed creative disruption is not helping business, but harnessed visionary leadership is. And if you're in that place where you want to transition from one to the other, I am the person to talk to.
Man, that's why I've been wanting to talk to you for so long.
Absolutely. I'm so glad we finally did this.
All right, we got to do this again. You're part of the family now. So what do you have? You got anything going on? We got a couple of seconds left. Anything big going on you want to let folks know about?
No, I don't have any big events coming on, but go ahead, go to my website, get on my email list, and you'll know when I've got webinars and workshops coming up.
Good enough. We got to have you back because this is good stuff. All right. Thanks for coming on. Mike King, Jennifer Einoff is here. She is the Bold Whisperer. And make sure you check her out because the information that she gives us is outstanding. Hey, by the way, your social media game is fire. That's for sure.
Oh, thank you.
It is.
Thank you.
On the mic with Mike. We'll be back on the other side now. Thanks. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.